Hello, hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. I'm Audrey, a paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. The cases I cover are wild, topics may be triggering, viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. I'm going to call this episode Stupid People Doing Stupid Things, Part 1. Let's make this a series. I'm going to gather little big cases that aren't necessarily a full episode, but a lovely tidbit. I'd like to sprinkle these here and there as I collect my information. First on the list of stupid people doing stupid things is Wickler Moran Mora. This case takes place in Tampa, Florida. I know, the same Tampa, Florida Casey Anthony claimed to be in those 31 days her daughter was missing. In August of 2009, Seventh-day Adventist pastor 38-year-old Wickler Moran Mora was arrested after faking his own kidnapping. He was the Sherry Papini before she did her shenanigans. Apparently, he did this so he could spend time with his lover. Wickler sent text messages to his wife saying not to panic, but that he was being kidnapped and was working on negotiating his release. His wife, of course, panicked and contacted the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. 20 deputies were sent out to look for him. Authorities were able to trace his text messages to his mistress's home, located at 3650 West Waters Ave, where he was just fine and dandy. "Don't call, take it easy. They said they will let me go. And everything is all right. I'll be home soon," he texted his poor wife, who he's still married to, by the way. She said, "I'ma stick beside him." Wickler was charged with giving a false report to law enforcement and released on a $500 bail. It cost the city $4,000 to orchestrate helping this piece of shit's release. The church he ministers at is located at 10306 North Nebraska Ave in Tampa, Florida. Wickler told the press, and I quote, "We are fine now. It was a mistake, and everything is solved between us." He is still an active pastor at the IMS Seventh-day Adventist Church. The second case on today's segment of Stupid People Doing Stupid Things is Heather Cook. In December of 2007, Heather Cook, a pastor at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Lancaster, Massachusetts, was accused of skinny dipping with children during the 14th annual camping trip to Maine. This included a 25-mile expedition that involved canoeing with no bathrooms, no cell phones, no showers. The September 2017 trip was called the annual Senior Survival Trip for the South Lancaster Seventh-day Adventist Academy. Concerned parents reported the incident to Principal Jerry Lambert in October. And if you're not familiar with what skinny dipping is swimming without no clothes on. And it's absolutely not okay to do with children. The scandal unleashed a dispute between several members of the church, including Randall Gifford, a member of the congregation. Heather asked for a restraining order against Randall. Court documents said filed by Heather read as follows. During the course of the meeting, Randy stated he was the most powerful man in town and could make me disappear. He also claimed connections to the government and said he would be watching me in ways I couldn't imagine. He also stated he could destroy me and take everything I had. This incident required a visit from the State Department of Children and Family Services. Two chaperones on the trip said that the nude bathing was for hygienic purposes. They were sweaty and wanted to take a bath. Attorney Danielle Tomlinson was hired by Randall Gifford, and she said that her client had an issue with Heather liking a nude photo on her social media account. Heather was placed on paid administrative leave by the school. This was influenced by the skinny dipping incident, followed by former students calling the school and reporting inappropriate behavior by Miss Cook when they were students at the academy. Heather is married to Dustin Cook. They have twin daughters. Heather spent 2 years as a pastor at the Connecticut Valley Church, 2 years as a religion teacher at Hong Kong Adventist College, and she had been at her position for 3 years. 4 months later, hundreds of Seventh-day Adventist supporters of Heather gathered outside the conference building praying the committee would not terminate her employment. More than 500 letters of support were sent. Heather is no longer a pastor at Lancaster Academy. Currently, she is a teacher at a Christian school in Michigan called Cottage Forest School. And as of late, she's been training to become a firefighter. We've reached the end of today's episode of Stupid People Doing Stupid Things, Part 1 at Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. Thank you so much for coming down the little mini rabbit hole I currently live. As always, I accept and respect your opinions. I welcome all suggestions, input, case requests, and inquiries. Hit me up at yayareahousewife@gmail.com. I'll see you chismosas y chismosos in the next. Adios.